3 Cameroonians living in the United States will face trial for illicit exportation of weapons and ammunition. They were caught exporting weapons destined for separatist fighters in Anglophone Cameroon through Nigeria. Also coming up this news are free at last former transition president and Prime Minister of Mali, Bandao and Mokhtar Wan have been freed from house arrest after spending 3 months in detention. And finally, around 2,000 people in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo lament as the rainy season approaches. They lost their homes to the ravaging Nyiragongo volcanic eruption back in May. Those were our top stories. The details right ahead. Hello and thanks for joining us on this other edition of Newsroom. 3 Cameroonians are set to be judged in the United States for illicit exportation of weapons and ammunition. These weapons were destined for separatist fighters in Cameroon's restive Anglophone regions through Nigeria. Peter Nsosiye reports. No success will be recorded in the Horn of Africa if certain conditions are not met, even with the newly named mission of former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo, says the Tigray People's Liberation Front, as they accuse the African Union of being partial and in favor of the Ethiopian government. Ponje has a look at those conditions. We now move to Cameroon to talk about humanitarian crisis in the country. The number of refugees and internally displaced persons is expected to increase in the Central African country in 2022. Cameroon could register more than 1.5 million refugees against more than 1.3 million in 2021. Nadine Mebune has more. From Mozambique to Mali, where the UN Security Council has renewed sanctions against individuals and entities in that country for more than a year, they are accused of obstructing the 2015 peace agreement. Meanwhile, the UN peacekeeping force in the country reported earlier this year that human rights violations and abuses in Mali have increased significantly. More with Premier Agbo. Good day and thanks for joining us on this other edition of Newsroom. You're watching Dash News. The reference document to guide the reconstruction of the far north region of Cameroon hit by Boko Haram since 2014 has been adopted. The instrument that will oversee the 5-year program is hinged on 4 pillars. Peter Nsosiye looks at the main axis of the reference document in this report. Well, that brings us to the end of this newscast. Stay with us for more interesting stories. Remember, the voice of Africa counts, and Dash News is your voice.